Thursday evening, and we're going to do a really short set. Take a couple things, show you guys a couple things that I got in the mail today, and which they flat out lied to me. They said it was going to get here on Saturday, and it got here today. So it's nice when they're wrong and it's in your favor. So we got a couple things in the mail. One of them is this. I haven't opened this yet, and we'll show you guys what that is. I did get something else in the mail that was supposed to arrive today and did arrive today. And as soon as I find out what the heck it is, I got some magnetic sheeting, and I didn't know what I was going to get, but this is from Amazon, so if I got the wrong thing, then I would have been able to return it, but this seems to stick pretty well. As far as magnetic wise, I've already tried it on one of the metal things, but this is sheeting here, and the purpose for this is when we're working on these vehicles, they're going to be on a stand that's similar to this. Okay, just a little shim here, and we're going to stick this on the bottom so that when we probably inset a little bit because it'll make it easier to pick it up. So when we have our vehicle on here, and it'll go in the carrying case. So we have a T34. I know this isn't exactly the right size because I'm not gonna have a lot of material on there, but it's gonna be, a little bit of it showing to help kind of tie it into the ground. That way it'll be glued on the stand here, and they won't move around here in the carrying case and damage each other. Not that I'm going to be gaming with this stuff anytime soon, but it's good to go ahead and hit the ground running and have all the stuff in the right place. So these are self-stick-on sheets. They seem to be about 8.5 by 11. Maybe I think they're 8 by 10. So, and I think it came with 5 or 10 of them or something like that. Five pieces. So they are like a couple of bucks for each one or something like that. So when I hit the ground running, and it has that. Now, I'm not sure what this actually. It comes with something else in here. Actually, got 5 sheets. I have no idea what this is. Maybe you guys can tell me what it is. Came with that. Oh, look, a pair of scissors. Included with a free pair of scissors. These are probably crap. I probably won't use them, but I guess that's when you get this and it's made in China. They throw in free scissors. So I actually ordered something from there. I needed to get a new cover for our fire pit outside. We have a gas propane fire pit, and I spent about an hour trying to find something that was not made in China and didn't. So that's the problem. They don't even make something else. So I was willing to pay probably twice as much to get something that was not made in a totalitarian country, but there was no option. So that's just unfortunate. Anyhow, so there's my other unboxing here, and this comes from a lady named Teresa in Washington State. This is something I got on eBay. So let's see what we've got here. I want to make sure that I don't cut this. I suspect this is something that if I cut it wrong, I may ruin what I have in there. So let's see if we can get away with not doing this. Well, didn't cut far enough in. I'm being really careful because I know what this is supposed to be. And see, there's already stuff all the way up to the end here. So we want to make sure that we don't damage this. Because this is something I should have already had. In other words, I thought I already had this stuff. And if you've watched any of my videos, you probably will know what this is. Here's the paper about the packing slip. Let's see what we got here. I could have just opened this and not been online, but what the hell? Some of you people like watching unboxing stuff. I certainly watch unboxing things. I actually like hearing all these sounds of packages. This person really knows how to pack because it says on here, do not bend and everything. So this person's a pro. I'll make sure to give them good feedback for that. Unless they sent me the wrong thing, in which case it's war. You know, so I've had, I used to do a lot more things on eBay. My rating now is just over 300, and that's for individual transactions. I'm not bragging anything, just kind of giving you guys an idea if you're just kind of getting into eBay or you're not familiar with how the system works. So every time you have a sale to a new person, so if you put 100 things up for sale on eBay, and the same my 306, I think, or something that it is from 306 different transactions. That means I've bought and sold more than 306 different exchanges. Most of mine have been actually from selling my old, you know, I talked about all these Vallejo paints that I have, and show you some of the ones. It's a couple hundred or whatever, but you know, I didn't go out and buy them all. They were just ones that I used the proceeds from selling some of my old figures, really old figures, you know, stuff that from the 90s and stuff that I don't want anymore. And I use that to fund the my paint collection. I figured I'd put it right back into my hobby. But anyways, I digress. But so most of them have been sales. So I guess I'm getting at I've sold maybe 1,000 between bought and sold 1,000 things on eBay. I've only had two situations that have been negative on eBay. One of them was a guy I bought a tank kit from, and when I build that one, I'll show you which kit it is. And it didn't come with any decals, and it made it sound like it was new. It was in a box. It had zero decals on it, and I tried to contact the guy, and he just wouldn't respond to me for like a month. So eventually I gave him bad feedback. And then when I gave him bad feedback, he responded with, "You should have let me know there was a problem with the decals. Eat the negative feedback." So it was like, you know, he was holding me hostage. And then one other thing, oh, I had bought a copy of a Saving Private Ryan DVD. This is a long time ago, and I had a scratch on it. But other than that, I had no issues with eBay at all. So no issues with getting paid by PayPal or any of that stuff. So I don't have any negative experiences as far as that goes. So sorry, I was digressed to for fluff here. So let's see what's in this package here. This is something that I should have already had. And here we go. 1/72nd scale, Russian and Polish markings and insignia. Now, when it says Polish, it's talking about commie Polish. It's not talking about the Poles that faced off against the Germans in 1939. It's talking about the ones that were part of the Soviet armed forces and so forth. So we have a decal sheet here. This is from, is it Microscale? Microscale decals. There actually weren't that many, there weren't that many choices. Hey, look, made in the USA. Awesome. Oh, it's lead free. Well, no shit. Why would there be any lead in here? Anyhow, so here's the decal sheet that it comes with, and some examples of some vehicles, and some examples of some of these sayings. So this one is the Motherland Combat Girlfriend. This one happens to be Combat Girlfriend. Death to the Fascist, Moscow Farmers, Moscow Berlin, Fortusholova, and then variations of the Polish Eagle or whatever. We probably will not use any of these Polish ones at all. I have no intentions of building any Polish vehicles that serve the communist cause. So if I want to build Poles, it's got to be 1939 Poles, you know, or Polish paratroops or market garden. But anyhow, looking out for you, my Polish friends. Yeah, this is, so we've got red stars here, and we've got some numbers. So that's going to allow me over the weekend to put the decals on these little guys right here, because I'm not opposed to painting these death to the fascist vipers and stuff like that. That's actually a real saying on one of the 1/35th scale decals I have. I remember it's death to the fascist vipers. I have no problem painting that stuff on here, but the stars, you want them to be crisp and even and stuff like that. So I was really getting it for the stars and some of these numbers that look pretty nice. So we're going to, yeah, we'll do that over the weekend. We've already sprayed these guys gloss. So I know the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting the little red star on the front of this Jeep here, and then we'll seal that and flat coat it, and then we'll do the weathering, and then hopefully base these 3 vehicles over this weekend. You guys will see some of my basing that I do. Okay, but it is almost 10:30 at night. We're not going to start that project now because that would be, irresponsible, because it's not TGIF for me yet tomorrow. TGIF doesn't happen until maybe 20 hours from now. We've got to get all the way through Friday. I don't work 410s, so TGIF doesn't happen until the end of the day on Friday. So we do need to get some sleep. But with that said, we are going to do something, because I didn't just turn this thing on to show you some decals, but we're trying to do it all right. I did go ahead and order, where are they? Here they go. Got these in several days ago. Microsol and Microset, so we can set those decals on there and do it right. I done it way back in the day, and I mean 25 years ago, but I got to remember again how to do it. But there's videos and stuff on YouTube for that. So I will do the first one by myself. We'll do the little Jeep, and if I don't booger that up, which I don't expect that I will, then we will do the rest of them probably live. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we this morning, yesterday evening, not this morning. Yesterday evening we did the basing on these guys, but we never did put the grass. So we're going to do the grass and a little foliage on there, and then these 2 bowmen will be completely done. All right, that's what we're going to focus on. So let's go ahead and get our bushes. We don't need very many. It's only 2 small stands. Get our gamer's grass out here. That's the problem. I don't mind mail ordering this stuff after I've already used the product and used the color of the product. But I'm not going, these guys actually make tons of different stuff. I didn't know about this gamer's grass. Historicon 2018. Not the last one they had. And the vendor was selling them there. And what I did is, this is what I normally use, was the Swamp Tufts. I went and grabbed a package of these, and actually I bought it because I was low with this one, and I brought it over to this because I wanted a little bit different tuft color, but not dramatic, and just so I could compare them, because they make all kinds of colors, and some are not as useful as others, to be honest with you. Some are just too darn bright. But I don't mind mail order these when I run out of them, because I know what colors I have to match them. But to try new colors on the fly, that's going to be a little rough, because you could get ones that are too bright. Most tufts, I think, are a little on the bright side, to be honest with you, for my taste. So I think that should be enough. Because we're going to cut these guys into smaller pieces. All right, let me take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing, because this is in the nearsighted vision range. All right, we're going to cut this guy in half. Okay. And we're going to cut this in half, or so. It's not really precise. These do come on little stickums, but I wouldn't call that something you could stick. That's just kind of a base to put these guys out on. So, all right. So let's. We're going to need Elmer's glue. wherever the hell it is these days. There we go. I have a little cart. You guys can't see it, like almost like a little beverage cart that doesn't have beverage with little sides, and that's where all my stuff is. I got that recently, and it's kind of helped to kind of keep everything together. All right. And where's my sprinkles? I've had this stuff a long time. This and the brand I use is I'll get the exact one. It's from Scenic Express, and this particular one is Farm Pasture Blend, and I probably have had this 20 years, and I'm almost used one container, but I actually bought it as part of a multi-pack, and the multi-pack came with other colors like, say, this one here, which was Swampy Bog Blend, but this one has lots of almost like the Woodland Scenics type of clump stuff, and I haven't done much with it, in case you can tell, but I've got a bunch of colors, and really the only one I've used is this original one, but it costs like, I think, $30 for the 6 of them. So even if I don't use any of the other colors, spending $30 and having it 20 years is probably not a bad deal. So that's something else we'll probably reorder, because we want our stands to all kind of have the same uniform appearance. If they're supposed to be, in the temperate zone type thing. All right, so where is little metallic thing? First thing we're going to have to do over the weekend is put some of these things away. Here we go. And my area is not that messy, but when you have to move something to find something else, that's not how I like to operate. All right, let's find a brush that we don't love anymore. How about this one? No, here's a better one. One's got some spring in it still. When brushes start misbehaving, we start moving them into different tiers where they do different jobs for us. Ones that aren't required to be so detailed. All right, let's do that. Let's tighten that. All right. So, like I've mentioned this before, this is a great opportunity when you're adding this grass, to cover up things that you may not be so proud of. I'm not saying mistakes, just things that didn't turn out as well as you thought they were, because this basing material, as it dries, it shrinks a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it does do some. So yeah, I actually enjoy doing the World War II vehicles some. So hopefully you guys are as well. If not, then you're just going to have to fast forward that part. Okay. And what I want to do is I do not want to, I don't want to do the glue on both. I want to do just one of them at a time. Hopefully I brought this back from Mitch's house, and I did. This is also from Dave's Baggage Train. He sells this little carrying boxes for his proprietary carrying system, which is just a fancy name for a duffel bag with these little plastic things that go in it. But there's nothing on them. It's just regular plastic. So I bought one of them because it's nice that when you're playing, say, an army in a tournament, pull that one army on here and then move it from table to table. It's not like they're going to go very far, but it also helps when you're putting this grass to catch all the flyaways and be able to recycle and use this stuff. So, no point in being wasteful if you don't have to be. This is what you don't want to do like last night, because if any of this paint is still wet around the outside, and I don't like, actually like, don't like to use the metal tweezers for that, because you could scrape the paint job. So I use using the end of the brush to just kind of push it down. But if there's any of this black paint or whatever color you happen to be using on the edge still wet, then this grass is going to stick to it and it's going to look funny. Maybe some people like the grass on the edge of their stands, but I'm not one of them. So, okay. And we'll go to the next one. And then we'll sweep all this up together and recycle that. Any chance of a Gaslands battle report with waffle cars? You like that, huh? I saw that and I thought of you immediately. I thought of you immediately. So here's the problem with Gaslands. We've played the game maybe 6 times. We've played the new version of the rules once or twice, which all it does is add more rules to it. But as I've mentioned before, I'm too burned out from DBA to really be the point man to learn new systems. I'll make an exception on the World War II game if we get to where we're gaming that, okay? I'll be the point man on that. But I left it to Scott to kind of be the point man. He had bought the rules as well, and we played some of it. The problem that Gaslands has is that on several occasions we weren't able to finish a game in a night just because it just moves slower than DBA. Now it doesn't mean that we were bored at all. It's quite chaotic, but it moves slow. So I don't think I'll be doing a demo of how the rules play, because first of all, there's lots of them already on YouTube, and people that know the rules a lot better than we do. I mean, we'd get so much stuff wrong. But it's a fun game, especially when you have people that shouldn't be allowed to have a driver's license based on how they play. Let's put it that way. So we're speaking about Luke. Yeah. So the last time we played it, we just didn't get very far. So I've got actually some custom vehicles that I've made. As a matter of fact, the first ones I made are right here. I haven't put guns on them because it was a way long time ago. And let's see. I just never got anything further. Here's my Dusty. Here's a Mustang. I left the paint, the color it came in, but just added a pin wash on it and painted the windows and stuff like that. Painted all this stuff. This stuff came in chrome. So, it's not chrome looking anymore. And, we painted the taillights and everything. Just a really quick paint job. Fixed it up. Of course, I had to take it apart to do that. I wanted to leave it in this color. I painted the headlights. But I didn't get guns yet because I was concerned when we were doing it. I'm a big fan of what you see is what you get, and I didn't know how to build the cars with certain weapons on them. And like, say for instance, they wouldn't be practical in the game. Like I was building the cars before. Oh, it's not that important. Most people actually play. The car looks one way and then may actually. I mean, still would have to be a race. If it's like a race car or a sedan or a pickup, you're not going to use this as a pickup truck. But what weapons are actually physically on it and what it could be from battle to battle don't necessarily need to match. That's how most people seem to play. And I think that was nice. So I did do a couple of custom ones, my hippie van, and where's that stuff? Is that on my YouTube page? Or I think I posted it on the Gaslands page on Facebook. It's on my Facebook page too. I was really proud of them, but the other guys, they were just playing with cars that weren't even modified at all. You just go to the toy store or whatever, and you get the cars and you play with them. And the game is just perfectly fine playing with unmodified cars. It's a fun game. The mechanism of what you roll with the dice and how you have to manage what you get is really what makes the game. So it's not a stupid vroom vroom game. There's some thought in it. And I'll show you some of the other ones after this is drawing. But last time we played was before the pandemic. I know that much. The problem is if we play that, it just takes away from playing this. And, it's difficult only playing once a week to be able to do everything you might want to do. So, but that doesn't mean we haven't had a good time on it. But we've probably gotten some things wrong. But that's okay. We still had a good time. I'm not going to let that stuff bother me anymore. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Speaking of World War II, I was watching a couple of replays, a set of rules called Chain of Command. I've played Chain of Command before, but there's several videos of Chain of Command on YouTube. And in particular, there's some that are done by the actual author. And I was watching one of them, and not that I'm going to play Chain of Command, but I just figured, well, let's see what this is about. Because I played it one time, and I think it was you command too many things for my taste. So in doing so, you give up some of the detail, which in turn gives up some of the narrative that happens in the battle, which is really what I'm interested in. But nonetheless, one of the authors is doing the videos, and in the comments section, I noticed that even he got stuff wrong. So, we're all going to get stuff wrong in games, but they also made a comment that one of the other players was re-rolling dice when he felt like it and didn't call other ones. And I'm like, yeah, well, we don't have that problem in our group, thank goodness. But anyways, okay, so these guys are drying a little bit. We'll get to putting the tufts on them. So this is the Mustang, and of course, the thing that I liked on the Gaslands group is you'll get these guys, and I haven't been very active on there in the last year, but these guys they'll build a car, and it'll be really, really cool. And there's some geniuses out there. I'm going to say that the people that play Gaslands, their builds are better than the people that build DBA armies. I'm just saying, as a whole, in my opinion, the quality of work that people are doing on their cars is phenomenal. Not everything, but some guys are just wizards. But anyhow, they'll build this car and get it all dolled up and everything, and they'll go, okay, I don't know what the name of this is going to be. I'm like, you worked on this for several hours and you didn't know what the name of this vehicle is going to be? Like, I named the vehicles before I even start working on them. But, I've got a minor in advertising, I guess. I don't know. I just think that's the coolest part, is naming the car. So this one in particular, it doesn't have any guns on it. That's what I got to do. But I named it Tantrum, because it's a Mustang. So anyhow, so we got that. And then we've got, I got my, I call these guys the East Coast Essays. So this is my Mexican gang from the East Coast, because we live over here in the East Coast. And these were I didn't repaint them. This is the paint job that they had, and I weathered them some, did some pin washing, just some real basic stuff, This is going to be a jalapeno popper. Of course, we've got, it's going to have a little rocket launcher stuff down here. I just kind of ran out of steam doing this, but they're all taken. You could take, I think you can take them apart. The insides are painted. No, maybe I glued them. I better not. But the inside is painted, the seats and stuff like that. And one of the sayings that I forget which movie it's from. It might be from Pulp Fiction. But Luke always says, are you going to be a Mexican or a Mexicant? So this is the Mexicant. So it had an M already on it. So I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what we're going to do with that. So just have some fun with that stuff. But we haven't played in a long time. And I got a couple other vehicles that are really modified with guns. I've got two other ones. My hippie van, the hippie Kaye. But I haven't used them. But we had just as much fun playing with vehicles that are unmodified. So there's no point in making a vehicle that's all modified like that. And I'm the only one using it, and the other guys are just using bare bones stuff from the stores. We have fun playing without it. It's a good game. It's a good game, but we're not really well versed in it. So that was my long-windedness. But the waffle cars, yeah, you like that. I saw that waffle iron that came on the Gaslands website, and I thought of you. and your waffle maker with your what was the name of that? What was that name of that mix? That party blend or whatever. I've had some cookies with that kind of stuff before, and it's so sugary and fake. It made me sick. So, as unexperienced as you are making waffles, you've still made them. Actually never made. I've never used a waffle iron before. But then I don't really have waffles. I don't really have waffles at home. There's a breakfast place we go to that is freaking nominal, and and we have a waffle there, and my daughter and I go to that place, and it's I need to put a picture of that on the internet. You always see that picture that's floating around about people from the UK, like they'll have this big plate of their English breakfast, and they'll say, "Okay, there's you can have all these except one item. Which one would you take off?" And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Yeah, I could take about six of them off. There's some nasty stuff on there, but it's all what you're used to." But this is American breakfast. But yeah, that's the place that we go to for waffles. It's a pretty amazing place, but you got to get there early. You're not going to be able to sit down. That's a Sunday morning. Wouldn't say ritual, but if we go, that's when we go on Sunday morning. Probably go there this Sunday morning, maybe. But yeah, people are real particular about their breakfast. I am too. So I mean, unless I'm going to have something at home, if I'm going to have a sit down breakfast, yeah, I want my bacon, and I don't want you to overcook my bacon. It's funny, most people that I know like their red meat a lot rarer than I do. I do not like my red meat rare, but I do not like my bacon crispy. I am a give me the limp bacon. But hey, that's it's okay to like different things, right? I don't want to convert anybody. You like things a different way that I do, then that's fine. Whatever works for you. Confetti, yeah, birthday confetti. Gaslands already has a second edition. Yes, I have it. The book is too nice. Yeah, we played the first one I think 4 or 5 times, and we played the second one. It's the same rules. It just adds more extra stuff. I'll be honest with you. What I don't like about it is I don't like the fluff. I don't like their background story. I think it's silly, but that's fine. The author liked that. I think the rules are still good. That whole Mars thing and the different teams, and you know, I didn't. It wasn't. I don't like his fluff. It's like if you're playing a Warhammer 40K, you don't like the storyline of the Warhammer 40K. You can pretend whatever the backstory is something else, but that's not really that important to the game. It can be about whatever you want it to be. Pirates, one of the teams, pirates. I don't know if people have this fascination with pirates. I never did. I never grew up watching pirate stuff or cowboy and Indian stuff for that matter. Not really. I'm not a westerns person. If I'm gonna watch a western, I'm gonna play some Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, I can get into that. Okay, let's see. Let's see where we can put this guy. And this thing's almost misshapen. It's almost like swaying off to one side. You should have made it an example campaign and give us rules for making factions. Well, you can make your own rules. You can do whatever you want as long as you're not playing in a tournament. And since, what the hell are tournaments now? So, but the thing is if we play that, we're not playing this, and there's lots of people that have videos on, and that do an excellent job on Gasland stuff. And I mean, I've got a set of like the little barrier things where you're supposed to go through them from Phalanx Consortium, and they're just made out of MDF, clipboard material, as I like to call it. And they look great for what they are, but I haven't painted them or anything. I have a mat. I bought a 4x4 mat that's shaped. The floor of it looks like a. I'm not going to pull it out now. It's tucked away, like a warehouse. It's like an industrial. It looks beautiful. I mean, it looks better than anything I could paint. Absolutely gorgeous, and it's made out of like mouse pad material. It's kind of expensive. It was like 40 or 50 bucks. How many times have I used it? None. The goose egg, so we just haven't played it much. But that's okay. I also got when I was selling some of my things, I ended up getting the whole set of Wings of War with the biplanes and everything. We've never played that. There's a limited amount of time to do things, and just because you have games doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to get out on the tabletop. And what's the other game that we have? Oh, Mitch has like the whole collection of Richard Borg's Command in Colors. We've never played that. What else? I don't know. There's a limited amount of time, so I really don't want to get into something that we're not going to play right. And it's really unsatisfying. After you've played something correctly for so long, it's really unsatisfying to start playing something wrong. It's not like we're intentionally doing it wrong. It's just, shit happens. So, okay. I think we're done here. Let's get some glasses so I can find myself. And let's get the lighting in here sucks for the videoing. We'll do some pictures over the weekend. We'll try to put them on there. Yeah, see, it looks super yellow on here, and it's not yellow at all. And these are all Essex figures. These are my Hungarian Bowman. And they're all painted one at a time. I'm not going to mass produce them. That doesn't work for me. A lot of it might have to do is by painting style. I pick them up and I go around. So picking them up and putting them down and then grabbing another one, picking up and putting it down doesn't really work for me. Putting it on popsicle sticks doesn't really work for me either. I do what works for me. So yeah, so these guys are ready to go. They can join the rest of the Hungarian army, which, let's see if I don't pull this thing off the mount. We can show you guys where the hell they are. You can see them all the way over here on the screen. And we will add them to the mix. Oh. Let's see, where are these guys going to go? This is the front. All right, we're going to put the Saloy back here. But it's got twisted around. What's this guy doing out over here on the flank? I'm not a huge photographer. I'll take the picture. I'll let the camera do all the work. I'll try to take a good picture like 6 or 7 times, and after that, whatever I get is what I'm going to post. I don't have time to mess with it for forever and ever and ever. So. Okay, so these are the Hungarians so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is, I can actually play these guys as an army. It's now 12 elements. So I could show up on Monday and take them out in the battle with Mitch. The problem is we have something totally different planned on Monday. So we're going to keep going. We've got 2 stands of Saloy that we're going to do. You can replace these with, and then the war wagons also replace these 2. They're going to take a long time to do, because on top of it painting the war wagon, which is actually pretty easy, each stand is going to have probably at least 5 figures on it. So that's going to take a little bit of time. And let's see if we can get anything better than that. I know this has one of these little battery powered things. Where is it? Hold on a second here. There we go. But it's a focus issue. Like, it's not in focus. I'm a noob when it comes to this camera stuff. So this is, we'll have to go outside and take them. Some of the best pictures I've ever taken of my stuff is out in the driveway. So with these guys, we'll still do 2 knights that are not deep, that'll replace these 2 deep ones when I need to. 2 stands of Saloy, which will replace these 2 guys, and 2 stands of war wagons. And the war wagons will be on 40 by 40s. We're not making those big old nasty looking things. So, and then we'll be done with these guys. And then who knows where else we're going to go. But I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be working with the WW2 stuff off and on, because when I don't feel like painting these 15s, because I've painted so many 15s. I don't feel like painting them at the end of the day. But if I'm if I do want to paint something and just kind of throw it together, then I've got the World War II stuff to do, which I've had those kits for over 20 years, most of them. So it's nice to go ahead and do that. So this is the guy that we got done the other day. Got a little T-34 with these rubber band tracks that I almost wanted to kill somebody over. It was so frustrating to work with that. But we got it done. So we won't be, if I was going to buy it, I'd just buy one of the ones that has all the running gear already done. I don't mind spending a long time painting something, but a little fiddly model that won't glue together because the halves aren't right. Like this guy. Here's the other T-34 that I had. Look, I just can't get the thing to stay glued. So this is going to get the epoxy treatment over the weekend, and that'll shut that thing up. But this will paint up. Well. I actually took the tab off here. It's got 2 little tabs that fit here so that the turret won't come off. And I made it and actually ground the end so this slides a little smoother, because what I don't want is every time you turn the turret, it end up scraping the paint job here. So again, these are going to be, wargaming pieces. And this is, I think, what level I'm going to get them to before I put the decals. And this doesn't even look like I sprayed gloss on this thing. No, maybe just that one spot. This is the spot, this is the stage you're going to get to before they get the decals. We'll decal them, seal the decals, and then start doing the weathering. And we're not going to do crazy weathering, but it's going to tie into the colors of the base. So like, for instance, if I was going to use this color base, I'll use the example that I have. And some of the color on this vehicle is the color that's in the stand where it is, dust and blown all over the place. So there is parts of this type of color as well. This is 3 shades as well, and I believe it's the middle shade and light shade that's on here. So we won't have any of the darker shade on the vehicle, but we're going to have the 2 lighter ones on it. And we're going to go light and, and if I don't like it, I'll repaint it. But anyhow, that's my story. Anyhow, what else we have? So anyway, so stay tuned for this stuff over the weekend. We're going to put a little red star on the front of the hood here, at the top. That's all we're going to do on it. And we're going to do probably some numbers and a red star there, and numbers and a red star there as well. So to be continued. But anyways, it is 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Yeah, we'll catch you guys over the weekend. Stay tuned, and we'll see what that brings us. Anyhow, happy painting, and we'll catch you guys in a few hours. See ya.